Hello everyone, welcome to Weekender Girl channel. It's another weekend. It's freezingly cold, only plus 8 degrees per Celsius in June. So if you ever had any disagreements with British weather, welcome to Russia. But to be precise, welcome to Novgorod. We're exploring a bit of Russia's north. So if you're ready, stay with me, don't freeze to death, and let's get started. According to the Sufyan chronicles, the city was founded back in 859. The official date is 862, according to the Novgorod Charter. But the archaeologists, ever the dream breakers, they said that latest excavations prove us that the city is not older than the 10th, 11th century, and actually most of the oldest churches here, they date back to 11th, 12th century. We are gonna see them all today. There's one of the last remnants of traditional Russian architectural style, long before the Italians were invited to our country and built all those beautiful, marvelous churches and cathedrals as they did in Moscow. But to visit to any old Russian city is nearly impossible without visiting its Kremlin. The local Kremlin was built in the middle of the 11th century, of course was later rebuilt at it, but the first one dates back to 1044, and it was built upon the pagan burial grounds, which is strange but not unusual in Russia. The reason why this Kremlin was built so early is that Novgorod, as a part of the route from Varangians to the Greeks, as a very successful and very rich and prospering city, it has always been at war. There were lots of wars, many wars, 26 with Sweden, 11 with the Livonian Order of Brothers of the Sword, but it more or less ended with signing a peace treaty in 1323, if my memory serves me right, which actually finally defined what the borders are between Sweden and then Russia. Did it stop anyone from trying to occupy Novgorod, or at least parts of it, sovereign lands? Of course not. And during the time of troubles, the city has been occupied for about 9 years, since 1609 to 1618, and of course it resulted in some secessions, and we lost some of the lands, but Novgorod remained ours, and that's the most important fact. Actually, Novgorod has quite a peculiar story, speaking about Kremlin history in general. It is a very old city, it is a commercial city, it is one of the first self-governed cities, and it is sort of an analogue of Wales, well, what Wales used to be for the UK, because the heir to the Russian throne, when he was of a sensible age, he was sent here to Novgorod to learn how to govern his future lands. The importance of the city was quite high, and it remained like that till, I think, till 15th century, because in 15th century it was it became a part of Moscow princedom at the times of Ivan III, Ivan the Great, and later the influence became diminishing until it dwindled and almost disappeared after the time of troubles and intervention.
What is it, the secret of Novgorod's rise and fall? You'll see just in a few secs.
Although officially Novgorod the Great and several other cities like Smolensk, Pskov, Vologda, although they've never been officially a part of the Hanseatic League, actually they sort of were. They were the easternmost cities / borders. That's actually one of the major reasons of Novgorod's supremacy and independence, which lasted for so long. Novgorod was selling its furs in exchange for food and other agricultural produce, which eventually led to a downfall in 16th century. First there was the famine of 1580s, and later when the famine came like all around Russia, the famine which resulted in the crisis of power in Russia and led to the time of troubles, Novgorod almost lost its importance.
And then later Peter the Great built his lovely St. Petersburg, and all the efforts of Novgorod to restore its supremacy went down the drain. But nonetheless, it still is one of the most beautiful northern cities. Its architecture is marvelous, and the Kremlin is so beautiful, and the food, oh the food! Try visiting Gourmetto. The Italian pasta and pizza are just superb. And what about me? Well, I'm gonna have my lunch and go somewhere else. See you there in Russia one more time. Bye bye, till later.
I haven't seen something like that in Smolensk or Vologda, but I like it very much. It's nice to be reminded that Russia is actually part of European history. No matter how Asian we might think we are, Europeans most definitely, at least biggest parts of our history are.